Have you ever done one of those mystery boxes from retailers? You heard anything about this? So this is real big. So retailers are taking, and I don't care if it's Amazon or big retail stores, they're taking either surplus or returned items. They're boxing a bunch of random stuff, selling it for $30, and consumers are loving the mystery box, right?
Okay.
And so I was watching a YouTuber that basically bought 100 of these mystery boxes from different retailers to see which ones were scams and which ones, were legit. You got some good value for your $30. At least the stuff in the box was worth $30 or more. How many of those do you think were scams? Just taking a guess.
You want a percentage?
Yeah.
90?
90%? So outright scams, 50% of them. Just outright, you got me type of scams. The rest of them technically were of value, but none of the shit that were in these boxes, no one would ever, ever, ever spend that amount of money. So for instance, like if you bought something from Temu, right? It was $30 and they sent you $50 worth of Chinese finger traps, right? You're like, technically they gave you $50 worth of shit, but nothing. You didn't open that box and go, wow, thank goodness I bought this thing.
What's people's fascination with the mystery? I don't know, the mystery box, I guess, but that's what the whole fascination. Like, I mean, like, do they have like random ones that are like have a whole bunch of stuff in there, like worth a ton? So everybody's just like, it's like looking for the golden ticket.
That's exactly right. So there was one, and I don't remember the retailer, but they called it the Apple box. Right?
Okay.
And it's $50. And some of the boxes might have an iPhone or an iMac in it, right?
Okay.
And so like, ooh. So it's gambling. It's a freaking gambling is really what it is.
Right.
Now, whether or not they ever have to prove that they put an iPhone in there or an iMac, it may be one of those things. Bet you nobody gets the iPhone and the iMac for sure.
That was like back in the day when you collected baseball. You buy baseball cards as a kid, and you were looking for like there would be like some special card in there, or you're looking for some specific rookie, or you know what I mean. But like you buy a zillion packs trying to find this whatever, and you never found the card.
Never.
And you wonder like they say they have these cards, or they have these special cards that would be in certain packs. But I mean, they never had to prove that they actually put those in
There's
the
no
packs.
authorities that go around saying, "Show me how many you gave away," because so they can get away with. So we'll talk about scams for Christmas season. Scams come out of the freaking woodwork because they're so easy to get away with. There's so much. If I scammed you, so the tolerance level for being scammed. Have you ever been scammed, by the way?
Oh yeah.
All right. What was your reaction to it? Like, was there hell to pay for the person who scammed you?
My reaction was more like I turned it more into myself. Like, oh, I should have realized this was a scam. You know what I mean? Like, I should have been smarter about this. So I was more critical of myself. Yeah, I was pissed off I got scammed, but like I was more just turning around like, oh, and then I go back and like, oh, hindsight's 20/20, but it's like, oh, I should have realized that this was a scam.
Any of the as seen on TV ones get you?
I don't think so. No. You're talking like the rando like products on there that you buy that it's all this does whatever, and it just I take that back. Years ago there was one I bought. It was like a lint roller thing, right? And it was like, oh, this is lint roller. You just rinse it off and then you can use it whatever. And it was the biggest piece of crap. Like it was like it wasn't sticky at all. It was like why is just right in the garbage. So yeah.
So I don't know what year this was. It was when cell phones were in their infancy, and drop calls were like every other second. And I'm trying to conduct business and I'm dropping calls. I saw this as seen on TV. Guy walks into an elevator and says this super sophisticated antenna boosting device attaches to your phone and you get perfect cell phone reception. So I was like, oh, that's exactly what I need. $30. It's worth the risk. Like no drop calls. I pay my $30 and I get this thing in the mail, and it was a foil sticker, right? You put it under the battery and whatever. It did absolutely nothing. And I was like, this is my own stupidity. Like, I can't even hold you responsible because it's exactly what you said it was. I was just hopeful that what was in the box was going to magically make something happen. And when it didn't,
Did you ever send away for the X-ray glasses as a kid?
Yes, I did. They did not work.
No, yeah, they didn't work at all. Yeah, they show the ad, like the little cartoon of the kid, whatever, and like, oh, here's the nude girl you can see through. Yeah, no.
Yeah, but you know the warning to consumers is that scams come out of the woodwork when we start opening our wallets to buy gifts and we're looking at advertisements we normally don't. Our defenses kind of go down a little bit, and for some reason, the cynical version of Joe will get drawn into something, and sometimes it may be the gambling thing where they're promising you probably won't get it, but you might. Sometimes it's just outright. They say this one time I ordered a $200 piece of electronic. We'll just say electronics. And what showed up when I opened the box, it was in the packaging that it was supposed to. I opened it up and it was a bunch of like medical devices, like scalpels and whatever. And I'm like, I called the manufacturer and they sent me a picture of them taking a picture of this sealed box that said the device on the other side. So I was like, how do I prove that what was in the box wasn't what it was supposed to be? And I looked it up and they sent me $20 worth of medical devices that weighed the same as what the electronics would be. So obviously I used credit card and the credit card company refunded me, but I was like, I bet you they get a lot of people like that. They use a debit card and they couldn't get, the charge reversed, whatever. But that, excuse me, that's my warning for people to be more sensitive to red flags that might happen in advertisements. You bought anything from Marketplace, like Facebook Marketplace, or any person-to-person thing?
Yeah, I have. Generally it's like music equipment or something like that. You know what I mean? But everything, I don't think I've ever bought anything I haven't bought anything on there that wasn't as advertised. You know what I mean? So yeah. But I have. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people use that. Honestly, there are bad people out there that will use literally anything from eBay all the way down to Facebook Marketplace to get you. And it's not just the scams where you click on a link and pay someone $400. There's actually package scams as well.
Yeah, I've got several things have come from eBay that have not been what I thought they were going to be, or that was just like the crappiest quality. Like I've ordered band shirts or whatever, like different stuff on eBay of stuff of bands that don't come around. I can't order it from them, or they might not have it or whatever. And a lot of times it's like, all right, I know this is going to be bootleg, and so you're taking a chance of what kind of quality shirt you're going to get, whatever. And most of the time it's just a complete piece of junk. It's one wash and throw it away kind of deal. But yeah.
You ever been scale scammed?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, this is where you take an item that has like big versions of it and little versions like it, and you sell it as the big version without really, you allude to the big version, but you don't actually specifically say, and when it shows up, it's the miniature version of it, but it was at the big version's price, and I've gotten hit with that, a bunch of times. Those overseas Chinese products are famous for that, sending you the scale scam. What other scam? You hit with any other ones?
I mean, other than just random, like I've had to cancel my debit card, I think 3 times now, whatever. I think I told you this before, but yeah, it's just like a random charge shows up. I'm not sure when it happened or who got the info or whatever else happened like that. Where it's like, now I just use the credit card for everything and then pay off the credit card. I don't like doing it. It's probably good that I do that. I don't like doing that because then you see, as if you're paying it off every week, you're like, you start to realize how much more you spend. And I'm like, so it's probably good that I'm doing that, but I still don't like it. It's like, I feel like I'm spending way more than I am, even though I'm spending exactly the same as what I did before. But it's just, it just seems.
I mean, credit cards do offer a really good utility because they have fraud departments that look for profiles of fraud, and sometimes they'll cut stuff off so it doesn't even occur. I had one company that the fraud prevention department noticed that they purchased gas in the morning and then purchased a jet ski in Florida like a couple hours later, and because it was probably pretty hard to get to Florida in a couple hours and purchase a jet ski, that they cut it off and didn't let it happen. Had they, then it would have been a pain in the ass because you had to call and reverse and whatever. So that's your first line of defense. But even so, they're pretty good about reversing those charges. But they a couple of years ago, they made it easy where if you declined or you challenged it, they would reverse it. But now they're putting some responsibility on you to try to work it out with the vendor before they'll reverse the charge. And I don't know if you've ever tried to deal with some of these companies. They're incredibly hard, right, to get to do a reversal. They'll do everything in the world to make it so they don't have to give you your money back. But you have to make the attempt, and you have to let 30 days go by. And that's a pain in the ass of a consumer because that money's held up for that 30 days. You got to make multiple phone calls. You got to document that you tried. And, it's only because credit card companies are spending so much of their budget on their fraud departments and doing this. They're like, how do we get rid of some of the liability? And they put it back on the consumer. So, but it is still a pretty good tool.
How are they able to? So the last time my debit card got scammed, it showed up as a Walmart charge for like $250 in Arkansas, right? The store in. How are scammers able to? You check with Walmart or anything like that. I had no account through Walmart or anything like that. So obviously, it's bogus. But how are they able to get that to show up as Walmart on my debit card statement? Like, how is that? Like, how are they able to? Because obviously, that's not what it is necessarily. But I mean, is there any? I mean, how are they able to do that to where, like I said, it looks like Walmart?
Yeah, so credit card processors has sort of been decentralized, and so there used to be only they had to go through a bank, and they you had a whole bunch of paperwork you had to file out. They had to make sure you are who you are. I can process credit cards, and I can go through, decentralized cryptocurrency. I mean, there's so many ways to be able to process credit cards. So I can spoof what my company name is through the credit card processor. Like when they catch it, obviously they're going to shut it down. But all I got to do is get a couple hundred people to get, the Walmart scam. And it's not really Walmart as the description. So like when we process credit card through our company, it says the company name. And when I fill out the paperwork, I put the company name on, and that's why it sends that to the consumer. Sometimes it's misspelling, so it's not Walmart or Walmart, it's Wally Mart.
Yeah.
So you think it's Walmart. But a lot of them are legitimately using Walmart, and then they're using mules to pick up Walmart packages. So they'll hijack someone's credit card number, either by guessing it, and then making a purchase, making it show up at someone's doorstep, and have a collection agent grab it and send it overseas to whoever bought it. So the person that scammed it is insulated because they use mules to move the materials around.
Gotcha. Any sort of tips as far as like keeping your info safe this time of year?
Yeah, you have to look at your statements. I know it's a pain in the ass, but pull that statement out. Look at every charge and make sure that you can identify. And a lot of times these scammers will put like a token amount because they're not looking at their statements anyway. And they'll put like $2 on it so that they see if your credit card's active before they hit the big one. Now, they put $10,000, you're going to notice it just by your balance, but sometimes they can sneak little 12, 15, whatever. And all of us are paying subscription fees for Netflix and Hulu, so we don't notice a couple $20 that reoccur every month. And that's how they're getting. Sometimes I've even done it. I've paid a year on something, had no idea how they started charging me, and I ended up having to cancel it, but man, they took me for $200 over the course of a freaking year.
What's the safest way, I guess, to do as far as transaction wise? Is it Apple Pay? Is it Google Pay? Is it like the chip? You have chip card readers, all that stuff. What's the safest way?
So I would dedicate a card to a practice. Okay, so do all of your retail spending on one card. Do all of your subscriptions on the other card, and that way all the types of purchases will be similar enough that you'll be able to scan them. And then what happens if, let's just say you lose track of all your subscriptions and you can't cancel some, just cancel your card. All those go away, and the ones you wanted, you resubscribe. And then also those will all fail, and you can start over with a new card. But if you use one and they're all together, it's harder to cancel a card because you're paying a legitimate expense that you're going to have to go through some hoops to set up again.